The NFL draft wrapped up a couple of hours ago, so let's take a look at some of those guys who didn't get drafted and where they are heading. We're going to take a look at this on NFL.com. We're going to start with the quarterback position, and honestly, there's not a lot of like notable guys here. Like you got Austin Reed going to the Bears, Keenan Slovis going to the Colts, Hartman going to the Commanders. But again, like a lot of these guys are maybe lucky if you're going to get a backup level quarterback. I'm actually kind of intrigued where Davis Richard from North Carolina Central goes. He was a very intriguing prospect at the Hula Bowl there. But John Rhines Plumlee going to the Steelers. He ain't going to be playing quarterback. I'm going to tell you that. He ain't going to be playing quarterback. Oh, the Dolphins signed the UTEP quarterback. Gavin Hardison. Okay. That's cool. That's new. But let's move to a running back. A lot of good running backs didn't end up coming off the board, so I'm very curious. Ooh, Blake Watson heading to the Broncos. Ooh, I don't know if he ends up making he could maybe stick to the roster as a returner, but I mean, they got Marvin Mims there. It's going to be tough. I mean, let's just take a quick look at that running back room because they did draft, was it Estime? It's escaping my mind. It was some bruiser. Yeah, they drafted Audric Estime. Obviously, they got Javonte Williams. Samaje Perine is still there, though. Jaleel McLaughlin, probably a good chance he is the running back 2 here. So I don't know if Watson will be able to stick the roster. He'd be battling out really with Perine, Tyler Beatty, and for who can be that like receiving back. So we'll see. Austin Jones going to the Commanders. George Halani going to the Seahawks. Kind of a bruiser back. That's kind of cool. Big reason he probably didn't get drafted was because of injuries there at Boise State. Frank Gore Jr. going to the Bills. They too drafted a running back. Who did they snag here? Sorry, I'm gonna put together my draft grades tonight, so don't exactly remember who went where off the top of my head. Oh, that's right, they got Ray Davis. I could see Frank Gore maybe sticking if he like beats out a Darrington Evans for the running back 4 spot. That's totally in the realm of possibility. You got Dylan Johnson going to the Titans. Oh man, there's a bruiser. Oh, he could stick to that roster. He most definitely can. And he has pass catching capabilities. Yo, get Hassan Haskins out of here. Get that bump gone, dude. Give me Dylan Johnson. Amani Bailey, the Chiefs. He probably ends up on the practice squad, but he's got some upside. Carson Steele goes to the Chiefs. So okay. Oh, right there with Amani Bailey. You got Dejon Edwards going to the Steelers. Okay. Michael Wiley not picked up yet. Again, maybe some of the guys I mentioned here after this video drops have already signed with the team. Again, just let me know in the comment section below. But he was kind of one of my favorite backs that are either going to be like late day 3 or UDFAs, just because of his ability in the receiving game and just honestly a good frame. Let's move to the wide receiver position. Isaiah Williams going to the Lions. This is an interesting one. Xavier Weaver, the Cardinals. Ooh, that's kind of fun. You got Tulu Griffin bringing in his return capabilities to the Raiders and his speed. But I mean, they got Trey Tucker there. So that'll be kind of fascinating in camp. Jackson Yonke going to the Texans. That's kind of fun. He probably is a practice squad guy. But I wonder if his brother got picked up. I don't see his brother down here yet. You got Sean Jones out of Maryland. Kind of probably more of a slot receiver in the NFL. Okay, his brother is heading to the Texans as well. So the Yonke twins going to the Texans. Oh, that's kind of fun. Ramel Keaton wide receiver at Tennessee. Good size, solid athlete going to the Raiders there. So got a couple of pretty good sign-ins. Okay. Let's keep the sucker rolling with the tight ends. Don't have a team for Dallin Holker yet? Blasphemy, dude. Reverend Spanford going to the Cowboys. Trey Knox going to the Vikings. Jack Westover going to the Seahawks. That's like an H-back there. Yeah, honestly, like a lot of the tight ends I liked went in the draft. Holker probably really being the only guy among this class. Maybe Callan Castles out of Tennessee, but he interested to see where he ends up dropping to or going to. Hines ends up going to the Chargers. Okay, good blocking tight end there out of South Dakota State. Another one of those South Dakota State prospects. Okay, offensive tackles. Garrett Greenfield going to the Seahawks. I like that one, man. I wasn't too shocked that he ended up going undrafted, but it didn't surprise me just because wasn't hearing a lot of draft buzz on him. You got Spencer Rollin out of North Carolina going to the Vikes. Anim Donkkawa, probably butchered that last name, but the Howard tackle, like mammoth size. You're going to get him in there with Stoutland? Watch out. I kind of like that. Flax going to the Vikings. Coker going to the Raiders. Any other names that might pop up? Pretty sure this cat signed with the Chargers. Could be wrong about that. Let's look at these interior prospects. Okay, not a lot of names yet. Look at that Barnhart going to Harbaugh. Following his coach. Doesn't surprise me. Ooh, Trent Jones to the Packers I actually like quite a bit. Very versatile lineman. Probably ends up on the practice squad. They drafted a lot of offensive linemen in this draft. You got Bucky Williams, who I think played tackle at Appalachian State. Could be wrong about that. Again, I'm kind of just saying this off the top of my head. Willis Patrick, honestly not a bad tackle there at TCU. Tackles guard. Going to the Chargers. No other guys. Oh man, this is what I'm looking for. This was a cat that I really liked in this draft. I'm curious where Brian Hudson out of Louisville ends up heading. But let's go ahead and move to that defense. Starting with the edge rushers. Gabriel Murphy going to the Vikings. Okay. I mean, you could take advantage of that blitz and upside with the team that blitzed like 60 to 65% of the time last year. Nelson Caesar going to the Seahawks. So that's going to be a tough team to make, man. They got a lot of edge depth. Not necessarily like high-end talent at edge, but they got a lot of good players there at edge. Unfamiliar with this Central Florida guy. Let's see. Hey, Roger Stone going to the Raiders. I liked Roger Stone. Didn't test as well as I was hoping. Was a little bit undersized, but do like him nonetheless. Before we jump to the defensive interior, let me shout out Underdog Fantasy. When you sign up using promo code Broshmo, they match that first deposit up to $100 dues. That's right, I said it, $1 dues. I'm not going to stop saying it. I like the word. I'm going to be me. But it's not just because football season's over. They do baseball, they do basketball. It doesn't mean the betting season is over. So if you like weekly baseball, if you like higher or lower on player prop bets, then check out Underdog Fantasy. When you sign up, use promo code Broshmo and they will match that first deposit up to $100 dues. But please, bet responsibly, bet wisely. Defensive interiors, let's go. Leonard Taylor, no team yet. We're refreshing. And still no team for Leonard Taylor. Okay. Eagles grab Gabe Hall. I actually like that one quite a bit. Judge Culpepper, Toledo. Used to play at Penn State, so he's got a little bit of a pedigree. Going to the Bucks there. Slightly undersized, but that's okay. Not too many sign-ins thus far. Man, maybe I'll try to pop it up somewhere else. NFL draft UDFA sign-ins. See if I can get a legit tracker on this. Will Bleacher Reports really do it for me? Okay, no, I don't like that one. Yo, give me a legit tracker, guys. Doesn't like Pro Football Network or something have a tracker? Here we go. They do got a tracker. Okay, I'll jump to that one after to see if any guys that I didn't cover here on the NFL.com one made it, or if they have any different players. All right, let's move to linebacker. Nothing for Curtis Jacobs. Omar Spites going to the Rams. That's fine. Yo, Dallas Gant was one of my guys. He could make a squad just as a special teamer. But good athlete, good length. Be on the lookout for that cat. You might be able to stick to that team. Amari Garner going to the Raiders. All right. Isn't he like more of an edge, or was used more of as an edge this year at North Carolina? Corners, we got Beanie Bishop going to the Steelers. It's like more of a slot option then. Yo, Dolphins picked up Storm Duck. Let's go. I like that. Vikings got Dwight McLaughlin. I actually kind of like him in a more press scheme. I'm a little queasy if you're going to be playing a lot of man with him, but I think that'll be okay. I think that'll be all right as long as you let him put hands on the opposing wide receivers. The Seahawks grab Ro Torrance. He's just kind of a big corner. Didn't test that well. Had an up and down week at the Shrine. Quan Shepard, who probably ends up more as a slot player, but he's got good size. Could stick on the outside going to the Raiders. Then we're going to jump to the safeties as Kem Dent going to the Chargers. Safety there. Thomas Harper, more of a slot going to the Chargers as well. That's about all we got. Okay. Kickers, punters. A-Ball going to the Saints as a punter. Yo, how is Rakow not gone anywhere? Or McNamara, dude. Let alone. Golly. All right, let's move to this this one. See if we could. Okay, this goes team by team. Let's make it a little bit bigger for y'all. Oh, is that too big? I think it'll be just fine. All right, so now this one we actually view team by team. So Xavier Worthy, Miles Murphy are actually two very solid pickups there by the Cardinals. Didn't notice the Miles Murphy one. Looking at Atlanta. And okay, they got Ryan Sanborn and punter. Why is that the only one I'm excited for? Baltimore, they bring in Tavion Robinson, kind of a slot only option. Could say the same thing about Dayton Wade. Grabbing some undersized guys. Dalcourt, Alabama, guard. Kind of meh. He was kind of like, yeah, not great. But don't mind bringing him in. You got that Alabama lineage, so maybe you could find it. Bo Braid. Bet you he sticks to this roster for the Ravens just because, well, not a lot going on at safety. And people were like, what do you mean they got Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton? And that's about it. I believe they did draft a safety in this class. That's right. Okay, yeah. They got Sonosi Kane out of Purdue. They got him in the 7th round. They list Darius Mims here, but I feel like he's probably occupies the slot more than anything else. All right, let's keep this sucker rolling with the Buffalo Bills. I mentioned they got Frank Gore. These are actually a couple interesting wide receiver ones. Lawrence Keys, Xavier Johnson. It's going to still be pretty tough to make wide receiver on the Bills roster. You got a lot of good players. Maybe not a true alpha, but you got a lot of good ones. Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, Matt Collins, Justin Shorter, brought in Andy Isabella, KJ Hamler. Yo, he's back in the league. I know injuries have been kind of a problem for him, but yeah, it's going to be tough to make that squad there. Mike Edwards out of Campbell was kind of legit. Tested out measured out well. Look at that, man. Sheridan Jones getting invited to minicamp. That's solid. Jake Browden, I actually liked him at punter. Going in there to compete. Let's go. Who's the current punter there? Oh yeah, Sam Martin. Oh, they brought in Matt Hack as well. Carolina Panthers, Jake Plummer, whatever. Jaden Surdin, kind of a long speed threat though, smaller and can hit that. Has that home run speed. Jalen Coker, I'm kind of excited for. Sam Pinckney was actually really solid, but he's a bigger receiver and he runs like a bigger receiver. And it is what it is. Taylor Upshaw, dude, this one's unconfirmed. I don't care. ZTF, I love that. I love that. He could come in healthy. He could maybe make that roster. Jackson Mitchell could honestly make it as a special teamer. Linebacker at UConn. They got Willie Drew. Damani Richardson's not bad, just not kind of like a high upside guy. They also got Deshaun Gaddy. Didn't really get the playing time this year. I thought he would. But it's nice to see him at least enter camp on a team. And they also get Harrison Mavis at kicker. That's worth noting. So Bears, we talked about Austin Reed. Got Bates. He ain't half bad. Keith Randolph ends up being a UDFA. If you're looking for a 3-tech penetrator, that ain't a bad way to go. Reddy Stewart, I kind of liked that at Troy, but again, kind of liked more so as a priority UDFA. Kind of has that slot type of size. Because I think he's pretty short, ain't he? He's like 5'8". Let me just confirm before I talk out my butt. Okay, 5'10", 184. So sub size, sub arm. Or sub hand size. The agility drills weren't that good, but honestly, that won't be so bad in a Matt Eberflus system. Okay, I don't love their UDFA pool. Since I had Bengals, brought on Rocky Lombardi, yo Cole Burgess, let's go. They also took another high upside guy here, in Justin Blazik. Of Wisconsin, was that Platteville? Let me just bring up his testing, dude. So he is 6'3", 252. Did have sub 33-inch arms. So ran a 4.84, 36.5 vert, a sub 7-second 3-cone. Yo, watch out, watch out. Lance Robinson was pretty nice too. I like, was it Najon Meta? But he is just more so like a early down back. You want him nowhere near the passing game. Oh, Aaron Casey's not a bad option. There we go. Bengals. You know, I think I had the Bengals get in Austin McNamara. That's good. That's good. I like them bringing in competition. That was my top punter. Might be the biggest boot in the draft. Cleveland Browns, they bring in Aiden Robinson, a bit of a thumper there. Browns more of a slot receiver. Javion Cohen, not bad. Once thought of as a potential day 2 prospect. That's a good bring in by the Browns. They didn't really sign anyone else, really. Or anyone really of note. Okay. Dallas Cowboys. Talked about Reverend Span Ford. Okay, Josh DeBerry, more of a slot, or at least more slot size. Okay, so no one really to note of there. Denver Broncos, Lincoln Victor. That's some. Golly, Gojo almost had a heart attack, bro. Get out of here. He's like, hurry up and get to the Chiefs. If you don't know, Gojo's a Chiefs fan. But he had some flash plays at Washington State. Thomas Yasmin ain't too bad at Utah. Frank Crum, there you go. Maybe future tackle help, depending on what they do with Garrett Bowles after this season. I think he's a free agent after this year. Omar Bailey ain't too bad. Caden Lewis, he was invited to camp as a kicker. What kicker did he rank for me? Kicker 21, okay. Talked about Isaiah Williams. They also bring in another slot type of player in Jalon Calhoun out of Duke. The Lions brought in Brian Hutz. Dude, I'm like low-key semi becoming a Lions fan. I mean, look at me. I'm already wearing blue. I normally wear gray or black. Oh, what's happening to me? What's happening to me? Nate Lynn was a top 30 visit, by the way, so this one makes a lot of sense that he ends up signing with the squad. But that's all they got there. If you don't know why I like Hudson, man, it's just like big athletic upside with him. Doesn't need to get better play strength, but he was someone who did play 2 different sports along. Like he was doing the field portion of track and field, so it's kind of tough to have to like switch into like different type of shapes for those sports. So now that if you keep his focus just on football, you could be working with a good developmental guy. Green Bay Packers, Jarvion Howard was actually one of my favorite HBCU guys at the run back there at Alcorn State. Donovan Edwards ain't a bad get. Trent Jones I mentioned, but it's gonna be tough to make that Green Bay Packers team. I mean, this is a team that just drafted like 4 offensive linemen, and it's not like they had big holes on offensive linemen. Was it 4? Okay, 3. So Jordan Morgan, they brought in Jacob Monk, Travis Glover. So that's a hell of a lot, man. Hell of a lot. Porter Wilson, not a bad get. I think he was like punter 4 for me. Yep, punter 4. Punter 4. Houston Texans. I mean, they brought in the Yankee brothers. I mean, British Brooks, one of the best names in the class, but that's nothing to note there. Colts also bring in Jason Bean. Hello. Let's go. Spencer Schrader. I think he was a top 10 kicker for me. No, he was sitting at 13. So close. Jalen Jackson. I actually low-key really liked Jalen Jackson out of Villanova. Bowling ball size. Knows how to eat, like just eat contact, get free. So I like the pickup for the Jaguars. Probably ends up on the practice squad, if anything. Andre Carter there on the D-line is not so bad. Josh Proctor's a pretty low-key pickup. Watch out. That's a guy that could probably stick to the roster. Kansas City Chiefs. Talked about the running backs there. They even brought in Trey Potts. Golly. Well, he's coming to minicamp. Ethan Driscoll, I didn't love. I don't see him making the roster. But hey, don't want to put bad vibes out there. Go get it, young man. You got Iobi Oki, ain't a bad get here. A guy that could end up sticking. Curtis Jacobs. Fabian Lovett. Golly. Kansas City bringing in some legitimate, like, good UDFAs here. Jojo? Oh, he came out barking, yeah. My wife wants to feed the dogs. Thought Gojo might be in here. I didn't mind Roland Wallace. He's got really good size. This is a good UDFA class. Like, there's some potential there for the Chiefs. Don't tell Gojo I said that. Las Vegas Raiders, they bring in Carter Bradley. It's kind of whatevs. Any other guys of note here? Like TJ Franklin, nice body type, just sort of a underachiever somewhat. Yeah, really nothing to note there. Chargers, I think brought in a ton of people. A ton. Anyone that just sticks out that I may not have talked about already for the Chargers? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Moving the Rams. Hey, they bring him Drake Stoops. Okay. Sam Wiglas. Former, like it says former Ohio State player though. Oh, watch out for that. Okay, they brought in Josh Wallace. That's kind of fun. Move on to the Miami Dolphins. This is what I want to know. Okay, Byron Matos. It says South Florida. He graduated from South Florida in 2022, then went to like the Dominican Republic. And I can't remember what he was doing as an athlete, but it wasn't football. So he's going to be brought in, I assume, on the international like player program where you can keep him on the roster, but he won't count against your he won't count against your roster during the season. You can keep him on the roster kind of free of charge there. Let's see. Oh, we grabbed one of the Murphy brothers and Grayson. Okay, but I like the Storm Duck. Mark Perry actually low-key is pretty good too. I thought he was draftable at TCU. One of the few guys in this safety class that actually had that center fielder type of potential. Minnesota Vikings mentioned a lot of these guys. Look, they got Doug Nestor on here twice. They grabbed Gabriel Murphy. Okay, Bo Richter out of Air Force. Kind of a weird player. Undersized edge. Looking to play off ball. I do like Dwight McLaughlin. I think that's a good pickup, though. New England Patriots. They snag Marshall Martin. Ended up just being undersized and not testing out that good. I like Jordan Morgan. Like, honestly, Charles Turner, too. Nice pickups here. Charles Turner could come in and maybe, like, stick a backup job. Jordan Morgan probably could be just really good depth. Like, he's got a bit of a tweener body type. Oh man, a couple of other guys I like here. I don't mind Caleb Ford Demet out of Texas State. Showed legit ball skills. A little undersized, I think, though. Let me see if I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, 5'11", 178. But he's got adequate length for the outside. But yeah, dude had like 3 interceptions, 6 pass breakups. Mekhi Victor out of Alabama State, just long and big. And then Del Pettis. I talked about Del Pettis earlier, and he had a draftable grade for me. Just great motor, man. Great motor. Let's move on to the Saints. Mason Tipton out of Yale's got some legit speed to him. Okay, the Saints pick up Dallin Holker. That's gonna be tough to stick on that roster, man. They got a lot of good tight ends on the Saints. I mean, again, like you got Taysom Hill there. He's a tight end. But they also have Jawan Johnson, Foster Monroe. Maybe you could get over like a Tommy Hudson, but that's gonna be close. And if anything, maybe they're probably gonna keep a fullback on the roster, so maybe they just keep 3 tight ends. That's gonna be tough, man. I'm gonna be rooting for him. Kyle Hergel out of Boston College, former Texas State guard. Someone to note there. So is Sincere Haynesworth. I liked him at a Tulane. Millard Bradford or Nookie Bradford. Pretty solid. A little undersized though. Move on to the Giants. Let's see. I like that Chris Ottoman Bell got invited to camp. I think injuries really just ruined his career. Ended up staying there in Minnesota for 7 years, but injuries really wrecked his career there, unfortunately. I mean, I like Ovi over here out of LSU, but really nothing that gets me feeling good, so to speak. Tyler Harrell brings a lot of speed, but that's about it. Brady Latham wasn't half bad. Okay, the Jets bring in Leonard Taylor, dude, and Braden McGregor. Those are 2 draftable players. They're on the defensive line. That ain't half bad. Jarius Monroe out of Tulane. He was I think he was the MVP, defensive MVP for the Shrine. So that's definitely something to watch out for. Maybe you can stick, but the lack of speed is a little concerning. Kendall Milton's a pretty good pickup for the Eagles. So they ended up getting McCallin. There we go. McCallin Castles. Along with, again, you got Anim, Gabe. Also, Andre Sam. Low-key, watch out. Good athlete. Good athlete. And he had to overcome some personal tragedy in his life, too. So you're dealing with a grown man with legit maturity. I like that. Pittsburgh Steelers. Talked about Edwards, Plumlee. So that's about it with Bishop. Okay. 49ers. Anyone perks? Cody Schrader. Okay, there we go. Drake Nugent as well. Evan Anderson. Okay, they got some names there that can maybe stick to the roster. I like that. Seahawks. Corderio. Okay, former Hawaii and now San Jose State quarterback coming to the roster. All right. Let's see what you got. Hayden was a favorite of a lot of people out of Idaho. see. Richard Gibonor. Tweener size, but golly, he gets after it. Oh, let's go. Zendata. Anderson out of Grambling State. Watch out, man. Athletic upside on this guy's top notch. Easton Gibbons is pretty darn good too. They bring in the speed of Carlton Johnson. I think Travion Brown could be low key. Like you got the invite to mini camp, but low key you can maybe be able to stick to a roster, especially a linebacker for the Seahawks. Buccaneers. So we got Culpepper, got Deloach. Those are a few guys that stick out. Tyreek Futterberg at Appalachian State. Super fun last name. But a lot of production. He was like borderline draftable for me. Then Rashad Winston, man. Got banged up in 2022. Had an alright 2023. But once thought as potentially a day 2 guy. So it's nice to see him sign with the team and get a shot to make a roster. Tennessee tight ends. I wasn't a big Khalid Duke guy. Yeah, nothing really of note. Honestly, Neighborson, or I think that's how you say it. The NC State kicker. Might be the thing that like it's most noteworthy outside of Dylan Johnson. And then finally the Commanders here. Okay, so they got Michael Wiley. All right. I like that. They also signed Tyler Owens. Oh, hold up. Look at this secondary. Right there. AJ Woods ain't half bad. Tyler Owens, super raw but stupid athletic. Chigozie Anusium, big and fast out of Colorado State. They're looking to renovate that secondary, man. And I like it. But let me know who are some of your favorite UDFAs in the comment section below. I'll be out back tomorrow with grades. It's going to be in 2 separate videos. You're going to have the AFC and the NFC. So I can't wait for y'all to crap on those. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.